we've shown, I've heard so many great stories from leaders that work on mindset. Buzz gives us examples of mindset daily, but people that are in our sidelines, I've heard stories about mindset and it making a huge impact on their business. So let's get into this. First, what is mindset? It's kind of a hard thing to wrap your head around if you're not familiar with it. So there's probably a million adjectives that we can find to describe mindset, but the first one is attitude. The second is motivation. Third, preparation, and I'll get more into detail with these. And the fourth is positivity. So just keep that in mind as we go through this. So what I like to add one more adjective to my mindset, and that's growth mindset, because of course I want to grow my business. So what is growth mindset? When you tell yourself that you can do anything, that you know you're going to try until you get the results that you want, that you embrace challenges, you welcome feedback and criticism, and you like to learn about things that you don't know. And this is the most important one, that you're coachable and you're teachable. Because if you're closed-minded, you kind of almost have to humble yourself when it comes to mindset and realize that you don't know everything and you never will. And that's okay.
That's true.
So how did I start working on mindset? The first thing that I started doing was I started to follow, some people call it stalk, but whatever, people, Blue Diamonds and Team Elite with Nu Skin. I would stalk them on social media because I knew that I was going to be in this business. I was going to make a living doing this, so I needed to follow the people that were making a living doing this. So when Tracy and I first started, we didn't really know what we were doing, okay? I mean, it was like driving down the interstate going 75 miles an hour and just chunking the steering wheel out the window. That's what we were doing. No idea.
We were throwing toothpaste.
No, we were throwing toothpaste at the steering wheel. But, so that's when I started following the people that I knew were successful with Nu Skin. And I was picking up on little keywords that they were saying. They would talk about training groups, whether they were in them, whether they were admins on them. They had training groups. And I would hear them talk about conference calls, and I would hear them talking about team training groups and team training calls and doing Facebook Lives. They would do those all the time and then talk about doing Facebook Lives inside of their training groups. I picked up on all of that. And then I remember turning to Tracy, and we were getting geared up. We had talked to Buzz. We had gone to Super Saturday training in August, and we were both like, well, we've got to start doing this. We've got to, like, if we're going to be Blue Diamonds, we've got to start acting like them. And not just become a Blue Diamond, but act like a Blue Diamond. Even though we weren't even, I don't even think we'd LOI'd yet. Maybe Tracy had LOI'd, I can't remember. But I mean, it was small potatoes in the beginning. I mean, everybody starts up at the beginning, but I knew that we had to start big. So we started our own training group, and there were probably just 4 people part of it. But we would do Facebook Lives like we were broadcasting to 3,000 people, you know? And that way now that we still don't have 3,000 people, but we're getting there and we're going to, we still broadcast like it's, you know, a huge deal, like it's the Super Bowl. Every single time we do a video, just because that's part of mindset. So I wanted to point out that you can't become a Blue Diamond in a day. I mean, unless you've got several millions of dollars to blow just for fun, and even then that'll be impossible. But can you start acting like a Blue Diamond in a day? Yes, you sure can. So that's what Tracy and I started doing. Look at that's us in October at the
San Diego.
Yeah. So the more you act like a Blue Diamond, by personal development and mindset, you're just one step closer to becoming one. And so like we put out that Blue Diamond vibe. We put that out there to not only just attract and keep our team motivated, but to attract future and potential customers, but most importantly, future and potential distributors. So that is that later. So starting out, you have to start somewhere. So here's some tips that we kind of started out doing with. You have to, whatever you put in is what you are going to put out. And in the words of Buzz Kroner, if things are to change, the way you look at things change. Is that right? No. I should have.
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
There you go. So here's what we do. We watch One Team Global NA. We tell our team to watch these videos. It's put on by Blue Diamond Diamonds Team Elites in Nu Skin, and they do this every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central. All you have to do is like their page. That's One Team Global NA. And it's like 15, 20-minute long live videos that if you can't catch it live, you can always catch it when they post it. They'll share it to the team, One Team Global training page, and you can watch it there. Also, there's Millionaire Training Circle every Saturday at 9 a.m. You can watch that as well. Another thing to work on mindset is to follow your leaders, follow your upline. Watch what they're putting out there. Watch what they post, how they post it, where they post it, when they post it. And I didn't put this on there, but why? I said it, but I didn't put it. But anyway, if anybody's offering training calls, any of your upline, be sure you're on those training calls, especially live. A lot of times you can mute the call so you don't have to say something. So if you're nervous about being heard, just mute the call and just listen and take notes. If you don't have anybody that's doing training calls, make one yourself. Get on a training call and have your friend get on it and tell her to invite her friend and so on. But you don't have to have a huge team to do this. So, and if you can't find the motivation, just make it yourself. So, why is this important? Come on, slide. When you set your mind to focus on positive things with goals in mind, the speed bumps will remain just that, speed bumps. You don't stop at a speed bump. You might slow down a bit, but you don't stop. You keep on going. So this is my favorite part. We're going to talk about goals. Goals and dream boards and, believe it or not, Post-it notes. So I'm going to show you the Post-it note that changed it all for Tracy and I. And it was just a Post-it note. So a lot of times people are like, I don't have time to make a dream board. I'm not creative enough to make a dream board. But I wrote this down on a Post-it note and put this on my computer at work. And at the time, whenever I had written this Post-it note down, I'm not going to show you yet. Tracy and I went through a earth-shattering event that the typical person, I think, it would have just ruined them. They would have, yes, we hit some speed. It was a speed bump. It was a huge speed bump for us. But that's all that it was. And it's because of this business that we were able to get through it. Because I'm fairly certain that I would have gotten fired from my job. But thank goodness I have Nu Skin. I would not have been able to make it if it wasn't for mindset and being prepared beforehand so that when this crappy thing happened, we were able to get through it. So anyway, before all of this had happened, I had written a Post-it note that I wanted Tracy to be Emerald in March. And she became an Emerald in March, right? Yep. But that's all it was a Post-it note. That's it. Now, yes, we have dream boards. I make dream boards. I'm big and a huge dream boards. I'll put them up in a minute. But this is what did it. Not any of this. This took me an hour and a half, each one. This took me 5 seconds. But I remember it looking at me at my computer, just mocking me. Like, how in the heck are you going to do this? I had, at one point, I remember looking at my team sales volume, and I was going, there is no flipping way I can get to 10 grand. And being, y'all know, Tracy becoming an Emerald benefited me, financially, but it didn't boost my pin title because she became an Emerald. But I knew that she needed it because devastation had hit her and me, and we needed it. I can't look at you anymore. So, but at that point, there was one point where it was impossible to hit 10 grand. We were dealing with one thing after another, more than just death. It was awful, and we weren't able to focus on the business, but my mindset, I was prepared. I was ready to go through this. And I'm gonna throw God in this mix. I apologize if some of you guys aren't believers, but that's okay. But I got down on my hands and knees with this Post-it note in mind and said, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. I have no idea how I'm gonna do this, but I need your help. And she became an emerald because of this Post-it note and the Lord above, and there is nothing, I mean, it was just insane.
Stacy, I don't want to explain to people why you had to hit 10,000 for her to get the emerald, because of the new velocity plan, most people don't understand that. All right, would you just, because you just hit a really key point, and I think they have to know that, all right?
So like how to get to emerald?
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
how you got her to emerald and what the $10,000 means.
Okay, so so as you're going up in the system and you become an executive, you're a gold executive when you have one executive underneath you. You're a lapis when you have two executives. On your front line, you're the people that you personally sponsored. When you have two of those executives that hit, you're a lapis. When you have 4 frontline executives hit, you're a ruby. When you're an emerald, you still have to have 4 frontline executives, but one of those legs has to be a total group sales volume of $10,000.
Bingo.
So for me, it was my group sales volume of my level ones who hadn't been executive yet, and then also my executive Catherine and my executive Carly, their group sales volume. So it was really, I knew it was going to be hard, but it's also easy at the same time. You have all of those people that are just, working together to get my total sales volume, team sales volume to 10 grand. So I rallied, I supported, I pushed, I kept my eye. There are some times where I checked out my new skin app more than Facebook. That is a lot. Because I was just watching that ticker like, oh man, I have 5 days to get to whatever it was.
You need to order right now.
Yes, go
Right
ahead. What, do you have an event next month? Why don't you go ahead and place by 10 Louis spots? You never know. I'm just kidding. But I was just constantly, who can I talk to? Who can I started to, and who said the new skin talking about being alone? Who picked up on
Yeah.
that?
Shane, talk
Yeah.
about loneliness.
Yeah.
It's loneliness. When I started touching base on a regular basis with my 3rd and 4th and 5th levels, touching base with them on not just engaging with them in their Facebook posts, but reaching out to them on Messenger, talking to them on the phone, something happened. That is what has made me succeed, is because they're my friends now. I make them my friends. It's a genuine relationship that I have made with all of them, and that has made a huge impact. Hey girl, you got a facial spa? Can I come over to your house and show you how to use it so you can give a demo to somebody else? And when you go into their home with your new distributor and you change their face, you have made a best friend for life. Or when you talk to them about youth and they take youth and they're like, you are not kidding. Oh my gosh, I shared this with so-and-so, and oh my gosh, you make a best friend for life. And that's the loneliness that people are longing for. And that has made a true, we have best friends now, and it's just a sisterhood that we have. And anyway, but sorry, that's the story.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
So back to the mindset checklist. This is kind of like what we push on our team and to help develop mindset, because you're going to get some negative Nancy's. That's just how they were raised, or it's just some life things have hit them and they just are down and out. But if you have this to say, hey, go check out this video, or I think your husband would like this video. I've done that a time or two, especially with One Team Global, because there's a bunch of dudes on One Team Global. And if the husband's a little, I send them that. Because they're like, oh, so there are some dudes that sell toothpaste. Okay, cool. Dudes. So One Team Global Millionaire Training Circle, get with your upline for training calls, or make those training calls yourself with your group. Follow your leaders, make a dream board. So let's talk. I'll show you. 1 second. I'll just leave this up here. This was last quarter. I'm trying to make them quarterly. Tracy qualified for this Southern Caribbean cruise. We couldn't go on it because, you know, somebody had to go and die.
Yep.
So we couldn't go on it, but she qualified for it. Newskin was she qualified, so her Ireland trip would have been 150 points. Hey now, I'm telling you, Dreamboards work. At first I thought it was kind of cheesy, but they work. Catherine, right here, get Catherine to 1,000 GSB in October. Get Carly to executive by December 1st. All that happened. Carly was an executive in October. I have dental hygienist on there. I got a dentist and 2 hygienists on my team. About to have a 3rd with Carly's girl.
Executive.
I have a 3rd. Wow. Yeah, so this works. And then this one, Ireland's on here. My husband was like, why do you have a truck and a boat on your dream board? I'm like, that's for you, babe. For you. 'Cause I remember Sandy Tillotson says, bring your family along with you. So they see this. They see these things. And so when you know, he's part of my dream. And then quit my job July 1st. I'm not sure if that's going to happen because I have a really good 401k package, but hey. It could happen. I know. But anyway, what else is on here? Lapis by March, Chick. Yeah. So.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it, love it. What mindset does is what Stacy exemplifies beautifully, I think, is confidence. It gives you confidence, and when you're confident, you're attractive.
Yeah.
It really does. Okay, so